Earlier this week, we met Albert Barbery and Carson Wright, demonstrating how contaminants move through groundwater for our story on World Water Day. Albert is a geologist with the DEP's Division of Water and Waste Management, and Carson is a hydrologist with the U.S. Geological Survey's West Virginia Water Science Center. As part of our ongoing series, Careers in Conservation, we asked them to talk about their jobs.
Growing up, I was always into science, either animals or outside activities, plants, animals. So I always knew I wanted to do something with science. And then I went to college. I was originally thinking of chemistry or pharmacy, something like that, but met with some of the professors that were in geology, and they told us about all the different things they do, going out on field visits to places and collecting data in the field, doing measurements, and trying to visualize what goes on underground.
I went to school for a bachelor's in forest resources management. I then realized that I wanted to specialize in water resources. So I started a master's program at WVU, and it was primarily statistics based, and it was looking at long-term trends in the stream gauges throughout the state of West Virginia. And as I was working on that degree, I realized I wanted to go work for the West Virginia DEP, and an opportunity opened up down here. I worked for the DEP for about a year and a half on a 5-year-long project, which I was here for the beginning of it, and we did geophysical well logging, which is imaging groundwater wells throughout the state of West Virginia. And then I met a bunch of the guys at the USGS and realized that they do some fun science, and I decided I wanted to go over there, and now I do both surface water measurements and groundwater data collection and processing in QA/QC.
The biggest challenges are trying to make sure you understand the properties of the ground that can have the groundwater and could also have the contaminants, and understanding that to be able to put in the proper treatment system and make sure that sites are remediated to a safe level. So if you want to get into groundwater protection and remediation, you need to be scientific and problem-oriented and be able to investigate, collect data, and analyze. So scientific backgrounds are what we do.
Some of the best parts about my job is I'll be in the office for a couple days working on data, making sure everything's coming in correctly through telemetry, and then the next thing you know, a gauge could go down and I could be driving to like Audra State Park to go work on a groundwater well up there, or driving down to Virginia Beach in the summer. I'll go down there and help on geophysical well logging projects, looking at the aquifers along the eastern shore. I get to several times I've went down to an extensometer, which is a 2,000-foot deep well down at Hampton Roads, Virginia. There's just always something else going on. I'm always going to a different site, different places, trying to figure out how one instrument will collect data compared to another, and how we can get the best quality data for the end users.
Every site that we work with has a different measures in place they use to protect groundwater, and also if it's a remediation site, has a different layout and different treatment activities they have to do, or even have to go into investigations. So in karst areas, sometimes you can do dye tracings, where you put a colored dye into a sinkhole or a cavern source, and you have a trap in a spring or somebody's well for a water source, and you try and see if that dye is moved to one of those sources or to the spring that maybe somebody uses.
If you're interested in a career with the USGS or doing similar work related to environmental science, definitely spend a lot of time outdoors. You have to be comfortable with dealing with the elements, whether it's raining or sunny out. A lot of times when we do surface water measurements, it's flooding, and we're hanging a hydroacoustic or equipment off bridges to get high water measurements, so we can build models for the Army Corps of Engineers or for the Weather Service, so we can create stage discharge relationships. It's a great career, but you have to really be comfortable with whatever the weather's going to throw at you, and just keep keep working, no matter what it is.
Thanks, Albert and Carson, for taking time to talk with us. For Environment Matters, I'm Mike Huff. Thanks for watching.